It is very close to my heart, and I've been guided to talk about this, my soul, my heart. And I did ask the angels as well, because I don't want to talk about it if it's not for the greatest good for humanity. So I didn't get a feeling that I shouldn't be talking about it, because it can benefit people. It also depends. It's not going to encroach on anyone's free will, because every soul has to choose, and every soul has a right to their own path and their own development and their own speed. But what we are aware of, the people that are tapped in, that we are going to face natural disasters. We are going to have things that come down, and we're going to have many souls leaving the planet, not at all the same time, but different means. Some illnesses, all kinds of things. Souls will leave the planet. But this is part of Earth's ascension and the plan for humanity. Before people start getting the wrong idea, let me explain something to you. We have a good future. We have a fantastic future. Down the earth, down the line, Earth is absolutely magnificent, pristine, clean. We have peace, we have harmony, we have absolute connectivity on the planet. Everybody's connected, everyone's in unity consciousness. It's lovely. So it is not doom and gloom like you thought. It's not the end of the world and oh my gosh, we're all doomed and punished. It's none of that is happening. But these things will happen because it's part of the greater plan. It's part of our being able to get there. All those holding a dark, dense, negative consciousness that are not willing to ascend now, because everybody's being given an opportunity. The frequency and light of the planet is raising. These agreements, everyone, before you came into this planet, agreed and knew you were coming here for this time. Everyone. You just don't remember. If you knew you were going to be living through this. You came here for this reason. Now, some we don't know because everyone's individual, their soul's choices. Some maybe got stuck here and weren't able to wake up. They got trapped in the darkness. They're not being able to free themselves from it. It's the mind wanting to heal or whatever. Some, don't want to continue with a 3D sort of thing. Some are, as I say, stuck in a very dark consciousness. So the majority, it's obviously an agreed plan that humanity's reached that level. We're going up. The planet is ascending. And it's a divine thing. Everyone knows the planetary alignments, the whole lot is all happening. There's a lot to do with it. But because we're in physical bodies and on Earth, we can't at the moment retain all that knowledge. We're not up there being able to see everything at the same time and know what's going on, because we're in our physical carnation still. So I did get some more visions. I think it was last week that I was shown more natural disasters that will happen on Earth. But I was shown it in a way that it made sense to me, that I understood that there was a reason for these things happening. And when we see people dying, we always think, oh my gosh, that's terrible. It's traumatic. It's, oh my gosh, it's really affects us when we see a mass disaster or something, or we know a lot of people losing their lives. It traumatizes us. And I'll go into that separately. But there's reasons for this happening. As I say, this is really an agreed, it's meant to be on a soul level and as a part of this greater plan. But it's not negative. The whole world's not coming to the end. The whole world's not going to be destroyed, and none of that nonsense. This is necessary, and some of these things we can't prevent. Some we can, which a lot of people will be doing meditations and work on and sending love and things. Now, this is part of this that I'm going to talk about. Let me give you an example. The things that we're not going to be able to prevent that are meant to happen, and the souls that are meant to leave will be leaving the planet. But what gets to me is we can help them in many ways to help people. Don't realize that you don't have to be psychic, you don't have to be connected, you don't have to be able to be in a transcendental meditation, astral, any of those things to do this. Actually, most people don't realize that your loved ones, when they leave their body, and they don't, but they find out when they leave their body that they're not dead. And oh my gosh, I'm still me, yes, but what's happened? Because if they die in a dark, dead consciousness, they're not awakened yet. They didn't go through the awakening process, and they're able to now understand what's happening and navigate themselves back to source. They leave their body and they're shocked. First of all, they weren't expecting to die, especially if it's something like that, a natural disaster. So it's horror, shock, fear. Oh my gosh, I've lost. That's it. There's a lot goes through. And then they realize, okay, well, I'm still alive. And then there's a lot to process. Now, some will be in a dark, dense consciousness, and some then, which has been happening for centuries on the planet, their souls don't leave the planet because they see their body and they're horrified by what happened to them and their physical body. They don't. You can talk people through this. Believe me, I'm trying to explain this. You're able to talk people through. Now, the souls that are going to take this in and that are going to listen, there will be some. It will benefit them, and they will then, be fine, be able to navigate their way through, get back home, or raise their consciousness. You're setting them free, actually. So they won't hang around. They're not going to be traumatized and trapped, and it's impacting their soul negatively, or end up not knowing where to go up the tunnel of light, and then they have to learn there. It's part of the ascension. It's a part of the ascension. So I'm not going to go into that whole night now. I will share. I don't like doing those things. It's not things because it's fear. People take this wrong. So if you share things that you see coming down the line, people go, especially people that like the drama and the negative, they're stuck in that dark, dense thing. It's all bad, all negative, frightening. Everything's, they can't see the bigger picture. And they're still in fear because they haven't woken up and haven't realized, there's no such thing as death in the first place, and that they agreed to this and all these kind of things. So I will stick those videos. I don't mind sharing them underneath in the description section that I was shown these and explained these different things that I see. Whether they're happening or not, I don't know. As I say, we will do work on these things ourselves, people that are able to. We will work on these things and try and mitigate them, to try and prevent or minimize the damage or minimize the loss. But these are, if they're agreements and pre-played, they will happen, and we won't be able to change some things. Some we are and some we aren't. We can do what we can and see, what the outcome. If it's not meant to be, if it's manipulated, it won't happen. That you can change. But if it's a divine plan and soul agreements and things collective for the plan, it's not going to. We can't intervene because we don't have the right. Every soul has a free choice. We cannot intervene or manipulate or try and control another soul's journey. It's not. If you don't, that's not how you're supposed to do things. They have free will. And even if they want to stay and play 3D or whatever, have a horrible experience or whatever they want to experience, it's part of their learning and their experience. So now gun those around story. Let me explain what happened and why I'm felt called. Why this is very close to my heart. It's because a week or so ago, maybe it wasn't this week. I think it was last week. I did a meditation and I get shown many things. I'm not always sure why. I just sit in a meditation and I go, who knows where I'm going to go. And I saw a submarine under the water. And I couldn't figure out why I was seeing the submarine by itself. And I'm watching this and I'm thinking, well, why am I being shown a submarine? And I see like a frequency coming off it. So I thought, okay, well, they're doing something nefarious then. I thought, what's going on? What are these people doing under there? Why am I being shown this? Are they, trying to create earthquakes using frequency, radar or something? Or I wasn't sure. And I saw this, so you visualize a submarine in front of me, and I was sending calm. So I thought I was counteracting the frequencies where it was coming off the ship. I wasn't sure. Because it looks like energy waves. And I was sending calm to the submarine and calm. And then I had to go and focus calm inside to the people in the submarine. So I thought, oh, this is strange. And then afterwards, I thought, it's only after my meditation, because during the meditation, you're in quite a deep trance. So it's just like automatic. You're doing these things like, who knows, not on a human level. Your soul is completely taken over. And I was sending calm, peace and calm to the people. And I thought, okay, well, maybe they're planning to send a torpedo off and start a war, or there's something, whatever. So I'm trying to prevent this. I'm sending peace and calm so that people don't get, do something silly or push a button. Or that's what I just assumed, right? Because, afterwards I thought, oh, well, anyway. And then I didn't think much of it. I thought, okay, well, there's a reason for it. It will come out. And about 2 or 3 days later, I was scrolling through YouTube and I came across a video of a Sky News headline. It was like a headline print. It wasn't a video, saying that some Indonesian submarine had disappeared and it hadn't reported back for duty or something to the base. Been 2 days. They're very worried because it's going to run out of oxygen. And I thought, oh my gosh. Then it dawned on me the submarine I had seen is probably this submarine that went missing and that they're looking for them. And I thought, oh no. and now it's going to run out of oxygen. And then I felt really bad being a 3D thing. You're thinking, oh my gosh, it's my fault. I should have asked them after the meditation, why am I showing this? And if, I'd asked, they could have told me, and I could have maybe phoned, the military or somebody. Not that anyone's probably going to listen to you, but you would have tried to tell them, look, I've seen the submarine, it's there, whatever. But things happen for a reason. I also have got to accept that. So it was a reason. So I saw that and I was very disturbed about it. I thought, oh my gosh, let me go and try and find it. But now I'm upset and stressed because I'd just seen the news and realized what was going on, and that I had seen, the submarine. And that made sense why I was sending Calm to the submarine. So I tapped in and I went in and I asked, like a remote viewing, where the submarine was. And, all I saw was going down in the ocean. It was very dark. So it was dark underneath where they were. It was quiet and dark. And they were in the Java Strait. I asked where. It showed me the Java Strait, which is obviously a current or sea or something. And off the land, off Jakarta, whatever the place is, mainland, off there. It's in the Java Strait. Closest land to it was the Java Strait or something, or Jakarta. And I thought, okay, is anyone still there? And I felt suffocation. Now, in the meditation, I felt like, oh my gosh, I can't breathe. There's a shortage of air. I'm struggling to breathe. So I knew that they were suffocating or had suffocated. Either way, I didn't feel good. I just felt like there was so me sending Calm, and I realized all this. I'm thinking, okay, well, I knew they weren't going to be found, put it that way, in time, because they were suffocating or had suffocated. So I was very upset. And then about an hour, but I think a bit later than that, a few hours later, maybe 2 hours later, I decided to tap in to see, because it bothered me, if any of the soldiers had left their bodies, because I kind of figured out they had, and I felt sorry for them. So I went in and I tapped in and I asked to speak to them. Have any of you left your bodies yet? And a lot appeared. So I knew that they had passed over already, and it already happened, and they, had already left their bodies. So I talked to them, because I didn't want them to, this is what happens when people die. And this is why I've got it's on my heart to talk about this, because we're going to see this now. We're going to see maybe some of these earthquakes or whatever, things happen, natural disasters happen, which many souls will leave the planet and be in that same state of consciousness, fear, surprise, shock, not knowing. You can help them. Now it's up to that soul, what that soul does with that, because they feel you. You send them love and you send them peace. You tell them it's all right. So first of all, you've got to do that. And they feel it. That's how they picked it up. I was sending them love. I tapped into them. And I've asked them when they leave their body. And I'm telling them, it's okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it happened to you. But everything's all right. And I sent them love so they could feel that. So I was communicating with those soul sailors. And I was sending them love. That's the first, sending them a lot of light and love. So sending them light and sending them love, sending them peace and telling them everything's okay. Explaining what's happened to them, basically, that everything's okay, everything's going to be okay. What I did, and this is why I'm trying to explain, you can do this to anybody. You can do it to loved ones. You can do it to people now, in a disaster. Anything, anywhere in the world, you can do this. All it takes is intent. That you are concentrating. Your mind is you. If you're sitting here and you're not psychic or tapped in or can't do any of these things, but you want to help, right? You can sit and you make an intent. I am talking to those people, whoever they are, that have now, been washed, a tidal wave or whatever happens to them. You can call them and you can send them, because we all connected, understand? We absolutely all connected. They are your brothers and sisters, no matter what bodies they're in, what color, what race, what anything they are, and consciousness. We're all one. We all connected. They just have different choices to you, but we all one. So we can send them love and they know it. And if you focus on them and if you talk to them, they hear you. They absolutely hear you. They can travel with the speed, once you're dead, your pure energy light, they can travel with the speed of consciousness. So it comforts them. So they're going to feel your love, but you've got to intentionally focus your mind, your intent, and although you can see them and you visualize it, a picture in your mind of wherever you're trying to send love to. And you're sending out light and love. You're wishing them light and love and peace. So I was in that frame of mind because I knew. And I spoke to them. And this is what you can do as well. And you can explain to them, that we are not our bodies. because they were hanging around, obviously waiting to see maybe if they were going to be found, the ship, or their boat, watch their bodies being discovered and buried and their family. And people do that. They don't normally leave straight away. So they definitely won't, or something like that. So I think these were a different story, but on a natural no. And sometimes they're quite terrified if their body is messed up when they die. It's different if your body is mangled or something. It's looking at this and horrified by what's happened to their body. So you've got to explain to them. Remember them. You send them love, first of all. You want to give them calm. So send them lots of love and lots of light, people, please. And then you tell them, don't worry about your body. We are not our body. We are eternal. We are pure love. We come from source. We are pure. The Creator is all we are, actually, and this is fact, is pure light and pure love, the essence. Without the physical body, that's all we are. We consist of pure light and love. But now, a lot of souls have got trauma, fear, anger, grief they haven't released of. So their light is not as bright. So some of them are not, there's not much light in them. So this is why they haven't found their light. They don't feel that because they've forgotten, they're disconnected. So they need to understand that. So I explained to them, all right, don't grieve and worry about your body, feel sorry about your body, that you've lost your body and things like that. I said, peace. I said, that's not who we are. We are eternal. We come from source. We are part of source. We are just pure love and light. But you've got to do it from a way where they know it and they feel it. So you can explain that. They listen to you. Believe me, they were listening. And I know there was a few of them that took it on because I saw them. I saw their light expand. So I spoke to them and I said, please don't grieve over your body. Don't hang around here on earth. This is not who we are. I said to them, forget it. It's just a body. We come from source. We are absolutely eternal. We're pure love and light. And I said, don't feel frightened. I said, if you want to know why, I said, you can ask. Now you're going to wonder why you left your body now. I said, ask. All you got to, now you're dead. You're pure energy, pure consciousness. That's who we are. Ask intent. Show me what the meaning of this life was. The purpose of this life was. You can ask for it. You don't have to wait. You can ask right now and then you will understand. So you can explain to them. This will help immensely, people. This will really help them, guide them home. Because if they do that when they leave the body, because they'll be a bit, and then you're talking to them, you're sending that calm, love and light to them. You're telling them, which they will now realize, well, I'm not. So they're getting guided, so they're feeling comforted. Okay, well, I'm not alone. And they will remember. Then you tell them, tell your soul, ask in your mind and your attention to be shown the meaning and purpose of this life. And that will set them free because they'll be shown their whole life. It will flash before them. They'll see everything and they'll understand how and why they died right then and there. And it will not be sad and they won't be angry, frightened. So their whole life, it's amazing. It'll be mind-blowing for them. They might have thought it was bad or terrible. Will not be. They'll say, oh, okay. That will trigger that memory. Snap them out of this fear and being stuck here because a lot of souls otherwise don't leave the planet. Don't find their way back and it's sad. And they stuck there. It's also hard for them. The more darkness they carry, they're not able to find their way home easily. Because this is darkness, this is fear, this is anger, this is shock, this is trauma, this is whatever. But if you tell them then and then, you can ask, because all you are now is your consciousness. Intend, show me what the purpose of my life was. First thing you need to get them to try and do that. And then you can talk to them to explain. That's all they do is focus, think about it, and you will see it. I said, your soul remembers. I told them, your soul remembers everything, and it does. And what you ask is what you get. What you focus on is what you get too. So they focus on anything dark and negative, they're going to start seeing dark and negative things and be terrified. So it's guiding them through the afterlife, which we did centuries ago and everybody did. So our souls are not going to have a difficult time or stuck or have problems or get lost. So that was what I was basically doing. Light, sending them, calming them, sending them light and love, telling them they are so loved, that we are absolutely eternal, that all we are is light and love as a source, as a soul, as a spirit. So that's our essence of who we are. The body is a temporary thing. And I said, ask your soul, because it remembers everything, to show you why. What was the purpose of this life? So you need to do that with the first one. They will see, they'll understand their whole reason for this carnation and what agreement they made to leave this planet. Then you can tell them, don't be frightened. I said, if you want to go back, I said, you can tell them how wonderful it is being back with the source, the creator. It is of everything. You are part of the creator. It is amazing. And you are, there is just love. Tell them, I said, believe me, you said, you get back to source, you will be so happy, because all there is absolute peace and love. And it really is. It's all you feel. It is just amazing. You see all and you know everything. At the same time, you're able to see everything and understand everything, retain all that knowledge behind you everywhere at the same time. And there's absolute peace and love. But if themselves in their souls don't clear this anger, fear, trauma, now you've already helped them by setting up light and love. You already explained to them, look at your life and ask, show me what my life meant. You've taken the trauma away now, why I died, why this happened, what I came here to do. Problem solved. So the ones that they'll go to different, wherever they're meant to go, wherever they've agreed or want to go in their stages, but you're helping them. So that relieves it. Now you tell them, now find the light in you. Some of you, the light might be very, very small, because depending on how frightened, dark, dense consciousness, trauma, whatever they had in their life, anger, they haven't done healing, right? A lot won't have. They will be extremely dark, their consciousness and their soul. So you tell them, some of you, your light might be the size of a tennis ball. Some of you might be, very big, size of a soccer ball. Some of you, it might be a teeny grain of sand. But I said, find your light. Where's your light? Now expand that light using your consciousness and your mind, pure intention and thought. Expand your light so brightly. So all you are is light. And I saw some of them, wow, they just gone, shing. So they do, some of them listened. So they expand that, because you're calming them. You're talking them through this lovingly, because they're connected to you. We're all connected. And you can tell them to expand that light. And when you feel it, when they expand that light so much, that's what they become again. What you originally were created is pure light and love. And you can feel it releases them. Wow, because they just feel absolute love. So they're getting rid of that fear, anger, darkness, shock, terror, and they leave in peace. And I say to them, you want to go back to source, the creator. Okay, the creator of all, who we come from, because we all actually are part of God, source, same thing. Is tell your soul and set your intention and thought, I want to go back to source. And I said, when you get there, you will be so happy and everything. I said, it's all you'll have. And that's what you can do to anybody, okay? Absolutely anybody and everywhere. But first, when this happens, we need to send a huge amount of love and light to those areas, especially for many people that are going to die. Because if many die suddenly in a natural disaster, and they see their bodies all, that's a shock. That's what traumatizes their soul. Because if they haven't woken up yet, they see this twisted, burnt, destroyed, broken, missing limbs, whatever it is. They focus on their body, and they're seeing their loved ones terrified, or the shock and trauma of the collective. And this is also a terrible thing, because a lot of the people on the planet that witness this, or in the news or something, I'm sure they love to show you only the good things. The news will always find the most negative, terrible, dramatic, horrible things they want to show everybody purposely. Upset and traumatize everyone. But what I'm trying to say is, people understand this. There's a reason for these things happening. Okay. And this is what they've got to understand when they die. And if you can tell them that, and if they realize that, because they actually do absolutely have power, they don't have to, you don't have to go anywhere else or go to the tunnel of light to be shown the whole purpose of your life. It'll be shown to you. You don't have to judge yourself. We are only light and love at an essence. But all the darkness, the more dark, denser soul is, frequency, this is what's holding. It's just that stuff they haven't let go of for many lifetimes. They haven't woken up before. So they're holding so much grief, anger, hurt, trauma, collective trauma. We've all been through it. Collective trauma on this planet. And this is why I say I'm guiding people, be aware of this. If you get triggered, it's because you haven't cleared yourself. You have in a past life, maybe you were in the First World War, you lived through the Second World War, you lived through the plague, you lived through the fall of Atlantis, you lived through the colonial invasion, mass slaughter, you lived through the inquest or something. You have seen and you have lived through, as a soul on this planet, many things like this. So you would have witnessed many atrocities, masses of people dying or being murdered, or who knows, wars and things. It has traumatized you. If you haven't willingly asked and gone into it and asked to clear, release yourself, you retain the wisdom and the memories. You retain the knowledge you learned from those lifetimes. This is not good. We mustn't do that. This is wrong. Whatever. I didn't use discernment or whatever it was. So you can ask them to clear that from your soul and from your, let it go. You as a soul need to willingly let all those things go, because they don't serve you anymore. It's good to retain your knowledge, your wisdom that you learned from all those lives and the lessons that you wanted to learn, but you don't have to retain the collective suffering, the trauma, the grief, the fear, the shock, the terror. That does not serve your soul. And you, as a free being, as a will, have to. And if you ask, you get it. Ask them to clean up your entire Akashic records from all of those. Any trauma from any life, all the connections that you lived through, all trauma, all those sort of things that affect, you don't need to hold on to it. Let it go. Especially now, because otherwise you'll be triggered when these things happen. We take it on. The collective, it's not ours to take on, because we forget we're all souls, we're all eternal. And their souls would have guided them out of that or away from that if they weren't meant to be here. So they've already chosen this before they came here, a lot of people. Okay? For different reasons. But not all of them have to get stuck now. And some of them are frightened, you don't know. Some of them are frightened, depends on their level of consciousness. You can tell them then, because some of them are in a dark dance. You have to ask everything. No one will intervene because the soul is free will. Same with the angels. You want help, you call it. So you can call the archangels, which I did, but not everyone is Christian or religious or whatever. So I did then as well. I called in some of the archangels when I was talking to them as well to help us. And if you want, and if you don't know, you feel frightened, you can ask the archangels to accompany you back. So I do that with them. So you can do that as well. You can tell them, but they don't need to. If they've expanded their light, you get them to do this. Say, look, you'll find. I said, if some of you haven't let go of your things, you'll find your light. And just with your mind and your consciousness, expand it, till all you just come as light. It's your intention. You make it big. And that's it. You won't have to, they won't need any help from the angels and everything else, because you've now increased all that darkness. They're raising in frequency. Oh my gosh. Everything's there. They'll remember absolutely everything. The entire existence will be brought back. And they will easily know how to get back to source. So we're able to talk. They're able to ask them if they're frightened, to call the angels in, to take them home. Because you can't dictate. We can't say, don't go up the tunnel of light, don't do this, go to that. You explain to them, like I explained to them, what source is the creator. You explain to them, boy, that triggers their memory to explain. And they'll remember that absolute love. Absolute peace and love that they feel and you experience is just incredible. And that sets them free. So we don't have, all these people. But they can ask. They have to ask. That's the thing. Ask for help. They can call an angel. They can call in whoever they want. It's up to them, you see. You ask. Simple as that. It's asking. Intention. Whatever you intend and ask is what you get. Your intention, if you're really seeking something and you're meant to find out now, it will be shown to you. So there we are. Anybody that feels guided to do it, you can talk to. If you lose a granny in another country, she dies, you're not able to visit her. Say even now, your granny dies of illness or old age, or someone gets killed in a car accident, you can't make it to the funeral. You can use this and talk to any single soul. Okay, the sooner the better, because they normally some souls hang around for a few days, depending on the circumstances. And depending on their level of peace, if they were ready to go, they weren't shocked. It depends on the soul. If they had made peace and they were ready and they were willing and they knew whatever, they, on a subconscious level knew. If it was sudden shock, whatever else, or trauma, they don't sometimes. And then because they also worry about the family. They want to see that, they want to check, they hang around to see the family's okay, and they try to let you know that they're fine. I'm not dead, but you don't see them, you can't hear them. So people don't know, oh my gosh, my son's gone. We forget, instead of celebrating, my gosh, he is free. He's transcending. He's going to come back. I said to them, you can go to source for as long as you want. And when you're ready, you want to come back, you can connect. You'll get a whole new body, a whole new life again. You don't have to. You can take your time. You can go to source now. All that is, go back to the creator, and you can be there as long as you want. When you're ready to come back to earth, you can get a whole new body. But you do not want them hanging around here trying to jump in another body because they're frightened. They don't know what to do. They've lost their body. But they realize they're alive. Now, where do I go? What do I do? Fight, you see. So first is to send them a massive amount of love and light. Tell them how much they loved. You can call in the angels as well. But they also not into, people won't ask. You can't. Call in the angels as well to surround them with absolute love and just say, remember you are just pure love and pure light. Don't be frightened. Don't feel sorry or grieve for that body. It's not who you are. Find your light. Ask. Tell yourself intention. Show me the purpose and the meaning of this life. And then their death and everything will make sense to them right now. All we are is pure love and light. We come from Source. Don't be frightened. To explain to what Source is, it's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely such peace, such love, it's just awesome. You'll see all and know everything. You want to go back to Source, focus on your light and make it bigger. Push it, until you are one, just pure light. Just expanding. You're using your mind and your consciousness. That's all it is. They've got to understand that when they're dead, all they are is energy, light and consciousness. That is it. They're able to, with their mind, whatever they focus on is where they're going to go. If they want to go say, like I told those soldiers, if you want to go say goodbye to your family, I told them don't hang around too long. Don't hang around on earth or your body or grieve for your body. If you want to say goodbye or go see your loved ones, all you have to do is with intention. I want to go see my cousin in Australia. Poof, I'm there. You will travel with the speed of your thought once you're dead. So be careful what you think of. This is why you send them love and light. You want them to expand that light so they don't think of, oh my gosh, I'm going to be punished now. Anything, do I manifest something dark in front of them? That will make them more scared. Okay, so it's always useful. Send them lots of love and light. Tell them how much they loved. Call in the angels. Tell them to look at their show, ask for their life to be shown to them. That really puts the whole fear nonsense out of it. Right. Find your light. Expand your light. Explain Source, all that is. Some people won't know that. It depends where they are. They can't explain something. They don't know what it is themselves. They can't remember. If you want to remember, ask for it. You will, because you've all been there. You've all been there. I do. Don't say I can't. I will. I want to. My soul remembers everything. Show me. So all you got to do is say to your higher self, show me your Source. Show me, what I was, take me back to where I was before I, connected into a physical body. All you got to do is set your intention to go back to the time, any time, whichever one it was, before you connected back into this physical body, and you will. You could even be shown, this one, after this life. Not that it's probably a good idea. But when you leave this body, I've already been shown all that. My purpose here, now, what this life, what it was, what the reasons for it, what my mission, the whole thing, my life. I had my life review here. And then when I leave, and leaving my body, and I watched my children. I waited for them to put my ashes where I told them, and they did. So I waited, and I was up. They didn't know I was there. I was floating in the tree above them. They had no idea I was there. They were putting my ashes under the tree, which I asked. You do these things, people. Believe me, they do. People do not leave straight away. They worry about you. Now, the more you cry and scream and carry on, the worse it is for the soul, you see. Because they're trying to comfort you because they realize, oh my gosh, this is cool. I'm not dead. I'm fine. Don't worry. I'm here. Hey, by the way, Jane, don't cry. I'm here. I love you. I'm here. But you don't listen. You don't hear them if you're not connected to them. It doesn't help if you're all upset. You're lowering that frequency. They're trying to comfort you. Send them with love and peace and light. Send them back to Source, please. Okay. That's the best we can do for anyone. So now when we have natural disasters and things, people, please, when you're praying, whatever it is, doesn't matter what form you use, if it's prayers, if it's meditation, send a lot of light and love to those souls, that area, right? Please. Focusing on those people that lost their lives. It'll help them really guide them back, all right? They feel it. They feel that energy. Absolutely. Okay. And explain to them what I've just explained to you. It'll help a lot. And understand, if you want to talk to your loved ones, if you've lost them, the same thing. They hear every single word you say. You can tell them how much you love them. They'll know. And they'll know even if it's bad whatever. They'll know they chose that experience. They wanted you to be nasty to them for some reason or whatever. They would, whatever. Maybe you had karmic debt. There's always a reason. Whatever's happened to them in this life, they'll know everything. Even the bad was okay. It's all good. If they've asked for their life, they will see it and understand it. They won't be angry about anything because there is no. It's just everything's perfect. It was meant to be like that. All right, I wanted to share that because it's on my heart, and I know that we're going to face a lot of that, and it makes it easier. Okay, for the people that lose loved ones, that I can understand now. Believe me, whatever you focus on when you're gone, your intention, you put your intention, I want to be there. You go there. They can be with you like that. And this is how we can even tap in and talk to other people that have passed away. It's pure consciousness. They travel with the speed of light, so they don't want to focus on anything dark. This is why you want to get them to expand their light. Send them love and light and get them to expand their light. Then they won't be a problem. They won't be stuck here or in any fear. And then they can navigate. Go around, say goodbye, and they'll go back. Wonderfully, perfectly. All right, lovely people. That was on my heart. I want to help people. And I felt so much better when I tapped into those sailors. And I saw them and I saw their light increase and I felt that love, peace. And I was like, oh, sent them all love. And yeah. All right, people. You have a wonderful day.